Hey guys, welcome back. I have another Lawyer Reacts for you today, and we're reacting to Tinashe's music video, Naturally. Now, I'm excited for today's video for two reasons. One, because I heard the visual is very different than what you would expect for the song, and that it's very contrasted, and it's a little gory. And number two, because just a few months ago, we had Dina Lapolt on the show, and Dina Lapolt is a music attorney, and she actually represents Tinashe. And I've been following Tinashe for a long time, and I'm just familiar that she left the big, major record label kind of deal that she had. She is now independent. And for those of you who are on this channel because you're wanting to learn how to be an independent artist or how to build your own music company, I think Tinashe is a great example of when you do kind of go that independent route. You have to be in charge of every aspect of your career, from making music videos to making the music. Tinashe is definitely her own music producer, and she works with other people as well. So for all those reasons, I'm excited to review today's video. With that being said, let's jump into it. Hi guys, I'm top music attorney Miss Krystle. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and creator of the Top Music Attorney School for artists and record labels. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent artist. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss my weekly videos giving you my best tips on the music business, industry news updates, and teaching you how to stay legally protected.
Let's go.
All right, right off the bat, definitely getting horror movie type vibes.
I've been wondering why we do them at the highest of highs. Can I have you back, maybe just for the night? Baby, I can see the ecstasy when you.
So right off the bat, it looks like she's on a farm, and I'm kind of getting with the wardrobe maybe a little Bo Peep inspiration. She seems to have a reaper's hook. I think it's called a skeeth, something like that. But my understanding is it's used on a farm. But then we also saw a scarecrow, or what looks like a scarecrow. Now, we saw for a moment the sheep. We've talked about this in other videos. We want to make sure on productions that there's some kind of animal handler, just making sure that the animals are staying protected. Each state is different, but there can be heavy fines and even jail time when it comes to the mistreatment of animals. But it does look like she's on a farm, so I'm going to assume that the actual owner might have been present to kind of oversee the production.
Your body knows me, baby. Knows me, baby. Just let me show you.
The lyrics are, "Your body knows me, baby." And right at that moment, we saw her actually, taking some kind of action on whatever's in this bag. It's bleeding. So we don't know if this is an animal. We don't know if this is a person. But it seems that the bag is pretty small. Okay, and with obviously the blood, and we see the sheep is kind of eaten whatever is in there, something kind of just happened. We don't know if it was already dead or if she killed something. So a lot of kind of questions, and we'll see where this goes.
Baby, you know it comes naturally. Your body knows me, baby. Knows me, baby. The shit that drives you crazy. You know it comes naturally.
All right, so I'm getting kind of maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Dexter meets Saw. Now, if this was Dexter, I think obviously this probably would have been much more plastic. This is pretty messy, and so I don't know if this is maybe a kill station that she has, but obviously there seems to be a lot of blood in containers, on surfaces, and she has weapons that we just saw as she was walking into this room that's covered in plastic.
I think about all the nights that we spend. Don't pretend we're too close to just act like a friend. Baby, I believe we're meant to be. You see, you do, I know. And if it was up to me, and I believe I'll make you comfortable. Your body.
So one thing I think is worth kind of noting is going back to that question of what was in that bag, what is she cutting up, right? So if she's just, let's say, a farm girl, and this is just part of her job, and maybe she just is really messy, and she just doesn't seem to really cover herself, and so she's kind of covered in stuff. Maybe she's iron deficient, that's why she's drinking the blood. We're not really sure what's happening at this point, but when it comes to kind of agricultural licenses, each state is different. And so when it comes to actually operating a farm, depending on whether you are housing animals or you are growing crops, there are different licenses and permits. It does seem that we are on the farm, so maybe this is someone, she's someone who actually works there. But it goes back to that question of how is this property being used? And is she slaughtering animals as part of her job and she just seems to really like it? Or is this perhaps a person?
Knows me, baby. Knows me, baby. Just let me show you, baby. You know it comes naturally. Your body knows me, baby. Knows me, baby. The shit that drives you crazy. You know it comes natural.
Great choreography sequence, and I'll just kind of interject it because it crossed my mind. We did an interview on this channel of Dina Lapolt, who is Tinashe's attorney, a few months back. Now, Tinashe is now independent, and she's been releasing her own music, and that includes, obviously, this record, and it's really, really inspiring and worth noting as far as those of you who do watch this channel and who consume this content because you want to learn how to be independent, how to protect yourself. And I think Tinashe is just such a great example of she is independent now. She is doing these videos herself. And my understanding is she choreographs a lot of her dance sequences. But in the story, are these people who work for her? Are they part of her team? Do they know what she does, right? So if she is committing crimes, whether those are crimes at the state level because maybe she doesn't have the right licensing and permits for the slaughter of animals, or maybe she's killing people, we don't know. But when it comes to accomplices, people can be held liable for knowing that there are crimes being committed and participating in one way or another. So how these other people on the property are kind of involved, we don't know just yet. All right, she's now prepared herself a bath. So far, we see that it's filled with blood. What blood? Whose blood? We don't know.
Lock and key, you and I are perfectly magnetized. Gravity, yeah, we can't escape the feeling.
And I think it's probably worth noting as well that there are pretty strict rules when it comes to sanitation practices. We saw kind of the state of the kitchen, right? The main prep area. This seems to be a private space that she has, her bathroom. So I guess however messy and bloody you want to keep it, that's okay. But when it comes to areas that you are actually preparing food, if you're going to sell it, that could be problematic.
Is this nice? Don't even think twice. I know you're coming back to me. Anywhere, overseas, or in my dreams. It's like nobody knows me, baby. Knows me, baby. Just let me show you, baby. You know it comes naturally. Your body knows me, baby.
Now, we haven't seen who's driving this truck yet, right? So this might be, again, back to that. Who is on the property? Who knows what she's doing, if she's committing crimes? And look, I'll just kind of give you my thought at this point, right? So if we think it's an animal versus a person, understanding that she seems to be kind of this little Bo Peep vixen, it's probably maybe someone, maybe the scarecrow was meant to embody a person, and that was that symbolism at the beginning of the video. So let's pretend for a moment that maybe she has killed someone or she kills people. And if that's the case, then these other people who are on the premises, they know what's happening. They're accomplices, including whoever is giving her a ride around on the back of his truck.
Baby, knows me, baby. The shit that drives you crazy. You know it comes naturally.
And we also know that she loves fruit. We saw strawberries and oranges. a lot of questions throughout the music video, and there wasn't really a big kind of revelation at the end as far as what happened or to answer those questions, but I think that's part of the artistic value in this case. And, you know, I think it's worth kind of noting that my takeaway is that this doesn't seem to be someone who just kind of works on a farm and this is her normal day job and she might be butchering animals. There definitely seemed to be this extra layer of kind of psychotic enjoyment, very similar to a horror film. Now, that's my interpretation, so definitely be sure to drop down your thoughts, your interpretations in the comments down below. Now, when it comes to dominating in the music business, you definitely need to know what you're doing. You need to have your contracts, you need to understand copyright and trademark and how to negotiate your deals. So, as you guys know, I have Top Music Attorney School, which will walk you through how to have a successful music career. Or if, for example, you want to start your own music business and you want to be your own record label, I have free courses to take you through that process as well. If you're interested in checking out what I'm doing musically, just search Miss Krystle on all music platforms. Don't forget to come say hi on social media. I'm at Top Music Attorney. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss weekly videos from your new favorite redhead. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Miss Krystle. Bye, guys.